Who that? Salute to everyone. World Combat Sports supporters. Mark Nash in the building. What's good? This is young Michael Williams Jr., man. Way back in the day. Putting in that work. Just thought I'd let y'all know, give you a glimpse and reflection right away. You know, that he's changing the game slowly but surely behind the scenes. A lot of big fight news coming up on Boy Wonder. You know, Michael Williams Sr. just put this clip out, so I just had to put it out. You know what I'm saying? Where it all began. When he was in the gym getting it in. You know, doing the early stages, you know what I'm saying? Developing him into what he is and what he's going to be. You know what I'm saying? The growth process never stops. That's just what it is, period. Some big news coming down, some big news coming down the pipe, coming out for Michael Williams Jr. 17-0, undefeated. The grind don't stop. And the haters getting blocked. That's just the way it is. There's really nothing I can say to those of you that want to, you know, be a part of something, you know, meet at the fight. If you want to go see him fight, you know, please go see him fight. I can't do anything for you because a lot of you cats, you trying to, you know, say you want to go see him fight, but you want me to hook you up with a picture with Roy Jones. Listen, if you want a picture with Roy Jones, just ask him when you see him. I'm giving you the location. You know, when we in town and Roy's going to be on deck, I'm giving you the location. So therefore, the rest is up to you. That's all I'm saying. You know, you want a picture with him, just catch him at the fight, go support, you know, the fighters and Michael Williams Jr. And then when you see him, ask him for a picture. That's all I can say to you. Just thought I'd put that clip out there for y'all to check that out. Salute to everyone that's in the building. You know what it is. World Combat Sports is on deck once again. And, you know, let me bring up my thumbnail so y'all can see it once again. You know, shout out to Michael Williams Jr., Boy Wonder 150 in the building. Fayetteville's on 17-0 undefeated. Continue to do the independent work. You know, build up his resume. You know, put that heat to it. 101, build up his brand with him himself. You know what I'm saying? With his own creativity from his team, doing a damn good job at it. And there will be others out there, as we all already know, that will attempt to, you know, diminish or hate. I understand. I mean, the hate is truly love because you see what's going on and see how successful it is. And you just want to be a part of it, even if it means giving us negative attention. You know what I'm saying? I get it. What's this shit? What's this I'm hearing about? Teofimo Lopez will be fighting on PPV once he returns off George Kambosos. What's this I'm hearing, y'all? Because a lot of y'all was like, nah, man, Teo, you know, he can't fight no PPV. He ain't fought nobody. He ain't no PPV star. What is Bob Arum saying now? What is he saying? Bob Arum is saying that Teofimo Lopez will indeed be fighting PPV once he returns. Now, we don't know what his opponents is going to be. He doesn't have any pre-scheduled fights on the horizon thus far. But what we do know is that Bob Arum has probably had conversations to sit down, just to relax a little bit and really, try to calibrate what exactly TEOFIMO Lopez and his team may be doing. And if you ever listen to David McWhorter talk, David McWhorter talks with a sense of confidence where he understands where, TEOFIMO Lopez is trying to go with his career. He's all aboard in trying to push his freaking Wall Street and build up the stock in the game. He totally understands that, man. He gets it. He gets it. So I'm pretty sure Bob Arum has sat down and just exhaled and rethought this process and saying, you know what? I still have TEOFIMO Lopez on the contract. Let's try to actually, grasp the magnitude of what he's trying to pull off here. Does he have something? I mean, does he truly have something in the sport of boxing? Or else, is TEOFIMO Lopez trying his best to convince individuals that he's all about moving away from traditional mindsets of boxing, waiting, to him making his decisions and demanding his worth. You feel me? It always takes one person to go up here and jumpstart the motherfucking post, so the heartbeat can start, giving us that continuous activity that we're looking for. Like we see this fighter, we hear them making noise, we checking their temperature, and people say, no, this can't happen. But it seems like it's actually happening. And you have a lot of fighters with the mentality like they don't want to be placed in a position where they can't fight. They may feel like they're incapable of making moves like this early on in their career. But TEOFIMO Lopez is 16 fights in his career, bro. This dude has already told you all a while ago when he was back flipping on your ass. He said it's the takeover. People took that shit as a joke. The takeover. You have to look, you have to consciously make a commitment to do something. And when you decide to do it, you have to understand there are going to be obstacles. We already know there's going to be difficulties in anything you do, especially in boxing. But right now, people are still trying to think outside of the priority of Team Lopez. Their priority is to build their net worth into an empire early. They're trying to do this shit early. You can only fool the fans once, twice, you know what I'm saying? Before they really catch on if you're not really doing anything special. But right now, the fans believe that TEOFIMO Lopez is doing something special. The fact that he was able to accomplish what he did with Vasyl Lomachenko, the fact that he held his ground and negotiated with Lomachenko, and then turned around and did the same thing with George Kambosos. And then you hear people up here whining and complaining about shit that we need to be understanding. You need to understand early on, man, about the proactiveness. I already gave you the P's. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. I already provided you the P's. We're so swallowed up in the mindset of just letting shit play out as it may without us influencing the shit to go the way we want it. Because, you might not be ready for the challenges, but Team Lopez, they pretty much, at that one point in time when his dad was saying what they was going to do in the sport of boxing, people was like looking at him like, oh man, just talking shit. I remember, oh man, he's, they was trying to compare him to Angel Garcia. Oh, he's just talking shit. He don't know what the fuck he talking about. We heard this shit before, man. He just talking. Boom. Knocked out Richard Comey. Oh, shit. His son did pick up a title in 15 professional fights. We get Lomachenko. He called Lomachenko a bitch. I put the video out there. He called him a bitch in the media. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't even close to fighting Lomachenko yet. He wasn't even close to fighting Lomachenko yet. He wasn't even close to fighting freaking Richard Comey. He called Vasyl Lomachenko a bitch in the media way before he got the fight with Richard Comey and Lomachenko. Masayoshi Nakatani. You don't see this? It's some OG type shit. Like, I know a lot of people ain't respecting it because, you know, T.O.'s still young, period. And he's young in the sport of boxing, but you got to start somewhere. If you're going to change the game, you got to change it early on so you can work out the motherfucking, you know, the problem solving process, smooth that shit out. So you, as you continue to blossom, people, you know, and as it materializes, people start looking at it in a more productive way. They say, okay, I get it. I get it. All right, I understand it. And then you keep on working them motherfuckers, polishing them corner, polishing and polishing, keep on improving, and injecting changes. You keep on showing people you dedicated to make this shit work. He called Lomachenko a bitch in the media long before he got the fight. His dad was talking about his son would be world champion long before he got the title shot. There's a situation you need to pay attention to. Real talk. This is a situation you need to understand what you're looking at. Because I remember when he called out Lomachenko and 2019 was coming to a close, right? And I heard, you know, I listened to the naysayers, you know, understanding that there was a fight looming between TEOFIMO Lopez and Vasyl Lomachenko, and they was down Lomachenko, talking about he's ahead of himself. He done bit off more than he can chew. He just talking shit. Lomachenko gonna knock his ass out. All the groups I was in, you know, talking about this fight on Facebook and how them motherfuckers so hell bent talking about it's no way, no how TEOFIMO Lopez can defeat Lomachenko. It's no way. You know what I'm saying? He's still in his development stages. He don't have the amateur pedigree of Vasyl Lomachenko. He can't do this. He can't do that. Then I heard as close as the fight, you know, as it came closer and closer to the window of the fight date, how all the Max Kellermans and all these other people, Andre Wards, you know, these people was talking as if they wasn't giving Vasyl Lomachenko a chance. And it has to come a point in time in your life where you can't sit up here and digest what the fuck all these naysayers are talking about. Because we live in a life where if you want someone to believe or try to emulate what you have going on, you have to make them understand that it's possible. First and foremost, you have to prove to them that it's possible. If you are able to prove to them that what you're talking about is possible outside of their doubt, then they will support you. They will find a way to support you. They will say, oh man, let me check this out. Fuck. He might have something here. When he just went in here and won this Triller, he went to purse bid for this Triller. All over a mandatory who didn't look too well in his last two fights. Kind of, you know, people say he struggled with Mickey Bay and so forth, who didn't look all that dominant, but he's getting paid 3.1, right? And then I hear the news come out that people saying, well, so what? How is he going to be able to freaking sustain this? So what if he did it? He still got to go back to top rank. Top ranking, I'm not going to do shit for him. Top rank ain't going to do this. He's going to be on the shelf. He's going to do that. I'm sitting back looking. I say, man, Y'all don't have no confidence in somebody who's trying to set the motherfucking standard. That's what this shit is about. Setting standards. And sometimes you have to begin to set the standard by your motherfucking self. You have to set a standard alone sometime. Then the company comes. You can't always set the standard with company because the motherfuckers that's around you, they have to be extra solid. You know what I'm saying? Extra solid, or they just around to see how shit plays out. Him and his pops up here setting a motherfucking standard. Y'all calling Lopez Sr., cornball, big mouth, whatever, and the shit he's saying is coming to fruition. Now Bob Arum is up here saying that Teofimo Lopez will fight on PPV. How is that possible? We were just hearing several weeks ago that Teofimo Lopez, people say, oh, he's not going to be able to sustain it. How is he going to fight on PPV? Who is he going to fight? That's a good question. Who is he going to fight? But the fact still remains, Teofimo Lopez has been able to accomplish and set history in his first division as a multiple world champion, right? Undisputed at lightweight, right? So you're trying to tell me, looking through his boxing optics, up the way until in the future, anything can happen, but let's just keep it positive. All the divisions that lie in wait from motherfucking junior welterweight to welterweight to super welterweight and potentially possibly middleweight. To do this in one division, to set the standard, while Canelo Alvarez, who's the cash cow, is still active in boxing. You have to commend and salute Teofimo Lopez for trying and attempting to set the standard early. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't set the standard, somebody else will. But you have to have the cojones to do this shit. You have to have the motherfucking balls to say, you know what? Him and his pops, just like Michael Williams Sr. and Jr., then you have to have the cojones to go out here and do some shit in boxing that no one else is doing. And while them motherfuckers sit back and look at you and complain and whine and bitch and criticize your moves, they continue to motherfucking water your motherfucking roots. They continue to give you that motherfucking motivation. They continue to goddamn help your shit grow. They don't know it, but they're giving you more exposure than they actually understand what they're watching. The more and more they talk negative about you, they goddamn giving you that exposure. They're enhancing your growth process. Bob Arum is now talking about Teofimo Lopez will be PPV. Can you imagine that shit? Your first division, and now you want to say him and his pops was saying, my son is a star. We don't care. We don't care what nobody say. My son's a star. We ain't fighting on regular TV no more. We fighting on PPV. I don't give a fuck what nobody else say. My son's earned it. He went out here and fought the Nakatanis, the Richard Comeys, and Vasil Lomachenko. He set history. My son's the best. I told them. They didn't want to listen. I told them. They scared to do what we doing. My son's gonna fight for his worth. He's gonna be on PPV. And people listen to his father talk that talk and still criticizing the fighter. Like, what are we doing? You still criticizing shit that you see him playing out in front of you, man. Alex, what's good? Salute. What's good? Tony Boswell, man, much respect. Appreciate the donation of the day there, Tony. Much respect, WCS. Working and listening. Appreciate you. Alex said Teal changing the game and setting the tone. You can't be mad at the kid for that. He believing in himself, period. Other boxers should start doing the same. Know your worth, people. Know your motherfucking worth, man. That's what Alex just said. He understands. Know your motherfucking worth. King Mitch in the building. What's good? Salute, my brother. What's up? Mr. Knuckles. Salute, my brother. What's good with you? I'm just trying to help some of these people understand. Like, listen, people can get wrapped up in a lot of things that's going on in this social media. Like, you can pick and choose who you listen to. And I like that the Lopez Sr. is out here on social media. He's communicating more, right? And I see motherfuckers that was hating on TEOFIMO Lopez, right? But now the motherfuckers are up, all butt cheeks tight, and they perked up. They trying to get Lopez Sr. on their channel now to talk. Imagine how that shit works, huh? You know what I'm saying? At first, you didn't want shit to do with TEOFIMO Lopez. But now you want his pops to come on and talk that talk. Because they feel like they're doing something for boxing. It's just, you know what? It's just so disappointing that you didn't believe it initially. Like, you have motherfuckers being now convinced that TEOFIMO Lopez is doing something that's going to be a part of history. He's taking control. Him and his pops has taken control of their careers, of his boxing career, and they're basically anchored. They're not moving. They're being stubborn. They're demanding progress. They're demanding shit that people look at him and say, man, they fucked up for that. It's no way that you can sit up here and demand that much money for a motherfucking mandatory. 1.2 is good. You straight. No, I want to demand $2 million for Lomachenko. I want to sit up here and demand more money for George Kambosos. It happens. Now he's trying to say, no, we ain't trying to fight on regular TV. We want to be PPV stars, even while Canelo Alvarez is still an active fighter. So Canelo Alvarez is able to do what the fuck Canelo wants. He earned that right to do that shit. Now TEOFIMO Lopez is attempting to do the exact same thing, but better. He's not waiting to the latter part of his career. He's not waiting for the middle part. He's doing this shit right now. Salute to everyone in the chat. What's good with you? Appreciate your support always. WCS Media. You see what's going on? It's time to let go of the same talk. Like, you can get on here every day, right? And throw names like Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney. You know, you can throw names up there on who you want TEOFIMO Lopez to fight. I mean, you can do that shit every hour on the hour, every day. All the way up to you fight Kambosos, pass the fight, or whatever. That's not going to do anything. That doesn't have shit to do with what I'm talking about. Because you look at my title, those B-siders should get comfortable. Because TEOFIMO Lopez is proven that he's gonna convince you that you are the B-side when you step into the square with him, when you share the ring with him. You're gonna be the B-side. So unless you want to change that, you need to do something that's miraculous. You need to do something that's different. Seriously, you got to do it. That goes for any of y'all. I just sit back and I laugh at the fact that you have certain individuals that was all about hating one fighter to support another fighter, but now they're trying to do both. They try to do both. They was hating one fighter to love another, and now they're trying to do both, and that shit's not gonna work. You're not making any fights on YTC. It's no such thing as no YTBC. It's no such thing. There's no such thing as no boxing community over here. It's people that talk about boxing. But if you choose to listen to certain individuals talk about this situation that you see that's blossoming into something special, the fight isn't going to be made. When you hear people talking about Lopez Senior and Bill Haney made a fight on YouTube, I wouldn't believe that shit. Now I can be one of those voices and hype it up. I guess in my older days, my more mature days in life with my wisdom, I totally understand. I'm in control of what I put out here to the public when I choose to do it. And I don't feel that's something important for me because I've seen it so many times before. I've seen this shit hyped up. Oh, this fight has been made. That fight is being made. We agreed upon it. I sat here and listened for weeks and weeks at a time with the Gary Russell situation, Devin Haney. It went nowhere. It went absolutely it never levitated. Never. There was no space between the souls and the ground. It never took flight at all for us to damn cheer that something special happened on YouTube. It never did. It was good, verbal sparring back and forth, finger pointing. That was about it. Now you get the Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis. The fight is not going to happen on social media, but it's good to talk about. People can get on here and talk about the same shit all the time. It don't matter how many views you get. I'd rather have individuals in my live chat to totally understand what's going to be relevant and irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have them cast and say, man, we've heard this shit before. We're just waiting for the motherfucking ink to be signed. I mean, the ink to dry. You know what I'm saying? That's all we waiting on. But the fact still remains, y'all. Who's doing it better? Listen to me. It's only so much you can put on social media to convince the fans you making money. We don't care about none of that. Black people, we seen plenty of our favorite athletes sit up here and show us what we don't have. If we don't have it, we're going to look at it and people going to say, oh man, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, cool. They supposed to have that. They're competing on the highest level. They supposed to have that shit. But then boxing, the fans are quite different. The boxing fans get to a point and they're like, no, motherfucker, we want to see more. Like, who are you fighting? What's your resume looking like? Who are you ducking? And who are you choosing to fight? That's who we understand. Why are you not fighting this guy and you're happy to fight that guy? If you're not taking control like Team Lopez is on this particular level, the fans will expose you at one point in time. They're going to start when it comes time for you to make some huge step forward and you want fans to pay to see you fight. They're going to look at what you haven't did in the sport of boxing and they're going to say, nah, I'm not supporting that shit. They ain't did nothing. They busy up here just trying to, be Instagram famous, to be motherfucking social media famous. They ain't did shit in the sport of boxing. But that Lopez kid though, I gotta check him out. That Lopez kid, man. Isn't he the one negotiated his shit with Lomachenko? Didn't he do it with Triller? He made all this damn hype with Triller, and he's gonna be fighting on Triller next for PPV. You got fighters trying to compare themselves and compete with Teofimo Lopez. They have me fall on PPV. It's always going to be a gap right there unless you take control and try to switch some shit up and demand that this happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, those fighters have to talk to their people and say, I need this to happen because this where I need to go. I see this nigga Lopez, right? I see what he's doing. And he's gaining traction with this motherfucker. So since he's gaining traction, why can't I gain traction too? I'm telling you, motherfuckers about to goddamn taste the smoke. They about to taste the exhaust fumes if they haven't been standing close already. I'm telling you, leaders do what leaders does. They take charge and they move the fuck on. Those of you that's in the lightweight division and you want to keep talking about the same shit, so and so, he need to fight so and so. You can say he need to fight Devin Haney 1,000 times over. Who gives a fuck about that? At the end of the day, if the fight's going to be made, it's going to be made with the promotions. It's not going to be made on YTC. This banter that goes on with boxing media and saying what T.O. needs to do. Why aren't you in there on their motherfucking team advising him or whoever on what they should do next for their career? You're talking about one boxer who really doesn't have any, I like zero influence on the moves that Team Lopez is making. I mean, can't you see what's going on here with this Latino fighter? Can't you see he's repping for many areas, including Honduras? Can't you see this man and his father is like piloting his career forward? They understand their wings are out. They understand the distance they have to travel. They understand where they need to go. They're not showboating. They're not doing none of that shit. You have more motherfuckers out here talking about how he's acting since he won the titles than understanding how he's moving in life and in his career. This dude is trying to be a motherfucking wealthy boxer. By the time he does get to that part of the career where people saying, okay, it's time for Teofimo to hang it up. You know, I'd be much older then. I'd be like, God damn, Teo, you did it. You did it, Teo. Good job, son. Good job. Good job. See, by the time he's about to end his career, 15 years from now, so to speak, people are going to look back and be like, God damn, I cannot believe this dude made this much money. You know what I'm saying? They may potentially be talking about Teofimo Lopez like they did Floyd. Like, a lot of people hated the player in Floyd Mayweather instead of hating the game. Because in Floyd Mayweather was the player in the game. He did it well. This nigga was a genius at what he did. I mean, absolutely. He was black. Since Floyd Mayweather left the sport, now the focus is redirected on the current cash cow in the sport, Canelo Alvarez. And that's why I tell my people, these black fighters is out here, you got to take a risk and believe in yourself and make some shit happen if you want to be that Floyd Mayweather when it comes to money. We ain't talking about him as a fighter. We talking about you as a fighter. But make that money, that money that Floyd Mayweather was able to do in his career. He's not the only one that can do it. Sit down and really think about and plan this shit out. How can you be the next cash cow? I think Teofimo Lopez is out here trying to prove to you all. I mean, I don't even think he's really proving to anybody. He's showing you. He ain't proving, he's showing you. It's going to come a point in time where Lopez will potentially be that Manny Pacquiao who gets a guarantee. Lopez getting a guarantee 10. They appear talking about, well, it's no way that Lopez is going to get 10 million to face Devin Haney. It's according to when he faced Devin Haney. It depends on when he faces Devin Haney. If by chance he faces Devin Haney and it's at 140 and Teofimo potentially may have already fought for the undisputed titles at 140, if it goes down like that, then he will be getting 10 million. And let's just say this fight comes closer. It's going to be on PPV because Teofimo's made it clear that he is a PPV fighter, right? And the fight comes up between him and Haney sometime or another. How far is it with a live gate, PPV, with a live gate that he can't get $10 million? I don't know how much I got to sit up here and shake my head and look at people just doubt everything this man has going on. And then he continues to show you what you believe is impossible to him is possible. Mitch said, I can't front. Bill Haney, Gary Russell, and Batman had YouTube on fire for a quick minute. Absolutely, bro. That shit was on motherfucking fire. I ain't gonna lie. Look, that shit. Check this out. I'm glad you mentioned that. Look, they had that shit lit so much. I'm talking about morning, afternoon, evening. And I commended Bill Haney for putting in that much work. Like, you have to be on a whole nother level. You have to be driven on a whole nother level of stimulation to get on social media over and over again on different channels and defend and goddamn advocate and try to make some shit happen. You putting in all this effort late night. I'm talking about into the AM. I think his daughter, one of his kids, had a birthday. He was still on here talking. That's a lot of motherfucking time. I mean, they had social media on fire during that period of time they was talking for that Devin Haney, Gary Russell. But all along, I knew the fight wasn't going to happen. Because for one, Gary Russell's fight date was in December, and Team Haney never said that they was going to resign from that November date. So since they wasn't going to stop that November date, Gary Russell had already made it clear that he wasn't fighting in November. He said, damn shame, nothing came from it. Then I realized they just used YouTube to stay relevant. It was free promo there, Mitch. It was free promo. So many forgot what happened with Haney versus Loma stuff. So many forgot what happened with the Haney versus Loma stuff, bro. The fight should be made with the fighters agreeing. Yeah, but what exactly happened with the Haney versus Loma? Knuckles, what happened? He just started. He beat someone. He beat someone that was hyped up. Now he's not keeping his word. Are you talking about Teo? You want to talk about how people continue to say he said he was going to send contracts? Well, listen, I'm an individual that truly pay attention to language. You know what I'm saying? I do. I pay attention to language. As much as I possibly can. And when I tell you, Mr. Knuckles, hey man, I'm gonna throw some money your way, bro. I'm gonna throw some money your way. Just keep a lookout. It's people that cap all the time. Here they say, hey man, I'm gonna throw some shit your way, man, on Cash App, bro. I say, okay, and they never do. And there's some that say, man, hey, check it out, man. I sent you. All right, cool. The shit's there. But the ones who saying they're gonna throw you something, they're not really putting a time stamp on it. They're not saying it's going to be at this point in time. They just letting you know it's a possibility. And that's exactly, if you're talking about him saying he was going to throw contracts at Kambosos and Devin Haney, throwing something is an informal language. And it's very informal. It doesn't designate a time stamp to say when it's actually going to happen. It doesn't provide that to the listener, to the recipient. It doesn't provide a timestamp. There's no timestamp to it to let you know this is when it's going to happen. He just said he was going to throw some contracts out there. So when people continue to say, well, he don't keep his word, what word does boxing keep? Fighters don't make fights. They make talk on it, but ultimately they get with their team to make fights. Teofimo Lopez, he can talk all he wants, but ultimately David McWhorter, who I've interviewed twice, he sat there and told you he's the one that speaks with Top Rank. He told you that. Once again, David McWhorter told you that. I'm one of the only ones on this that had an interview with him that has him in my phone that I communicate with. He told you he's the one that's the mouthpiece behind this. He speaks about the business and Teofimo and all that. He told you that they had to settle. They just settled for less money with Lomachenko than what they was asking for. So if they end up getting 2 million, that means that, from my understanding, they was asking for way more than 2 million. But they end up just saying, okay, we'll take 2 million. It's more than the 1.2 we was getting. Boom, we good. And then come around again, right? We're not even fully out of the pandemic. And they force a fight with a mandatory to go to purse bid. You think David McWater wasn't a part of that? You think David McWater wasn't a part of forcing that shit to a purse bid? So I don't know what you mean by not keeping his word. Today fighters aren't the same, but those old fighters were robbed, used, and abused, got their heads bashed in and made promoters rich, all to be forgotten while promoters going to the same shit. Damn. Let me put that shit up there. You ain't never lied, Mitch, man. Salute to you. Salute to you. Sounds solid. That shit's solid. 1000% I agree. 1000% I agree. Knuckles say at King Mitch agreed to a certain extent. They fought. These young fighters want money, made money without putting in the work. True, I agree, Knuckles. Well, all the fight, where are the fights? Nothing but social media talk. I agree, Knuckles. I got you. I mean, I understand, man. We on the same sheet of music, man. Pop the strings and let the tune speak for itself, man. I agree with you. Loma left. We all know this. Opportunity fan. We know he got it and who didn't. Loma left. Which you talking about Loma with the WBC? Oh, come, Knuckles. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Look, if you heard, it's a lot more to that situation with this Devin Haney Loma. I spoke on it several times. I spoke on it when me and Bill was addressing one another. I spoke on it with him. You know, whether he agreed or disagreed. I spoke on that situation. So how much more time are we going to invest in saying the same shit like one fight? We have determined something we don't even know. Like y'all keep on trying to imply after I put the video out here. I put the video of Mauricio Suleiman and when Vasil Lomachenko defeated Luke Campbell for the WBC title, what he actually said, y'all. He it's the video is out there. Why y'all continue to believe that one fight blew it? Haney could have been in the same situation as Teofimo Lopez. Listen, man. Y'all are speaking shit that never happened. But what we can speak about in hindsight is the fact that Teofimo fought Richard Comey, and he was an IBF champion, and he fought for Vasil Lomachenko. If anything we can say about Lomachenko, he had one belt remaining, which was the IBF, and he could have unified the shit. What y'all would have said then? He had one belt. He could have just said, boom, let's go. Let me fight goddamn Teofimo Lopez for this IBF title, and we'll see who wins. Teo had all the belts. Let's just say it wasn't a franchise involved, if that was the case. He would have had all the belts, but the petition was sent, right? Right? Or do I have to bring up the same shit? Because some people don't believe certain things that has been said, you know. They're still talking about the same shit. They're still thinking that one fight determined Devin Haney to be in his position and and Teofimo Lopez to be in his position. Without a fight, one of them had the fight, the biggest fight, and one of them didn't.
Through the fans, through the media, through the WBC Board of Governors. And the fact is that there was virtually a tie between this card and the card in California. So the WBC decided to award the two belts to commemorate, because we are celebrating a weekend, a specific celebration of a country. So we decided to make the two Mayan belts.
Some people point to the fact that the Mayan belt should really be for Mexican fighters. You've got Jaime Munguia in the past. Canelo Alvarez has been involved in fights with the Mayan belt on the line. Tyson Fury is British. Otto Wallin is Swedish. Why are they fighting for a Mayan belt?
That's the beauty of it. And that's a real justification of what we are doing with these belts, with this trophy. It is to celebrate and commemorate a date. So if you go back in history and you look at the May 5th and the September 16th events, which happened on those weekends, you're going to find Mike Tyson, Chavez, Oscar de la Hoya, Mayweather, Triple G, many fighters who contested in those dates. So this is not a celebration for Mexico or to Mexico. It's a celebration to boxing and what Mexico has brought to the sport. May 5th, September 16th are the Mexican holidays that fill Las Vegas. The Mexican celebration that will fill New York and 66 countries affiliated.
Earlier on in the interview, the last time I spoke to you was before Lomachenko versus Campbell in London. Lomachenko added the WBC title to his ever-growing list, or ever-growing collection of belts. Devin Haney this weekend, or on Friday, fights for the WBC interim title. Why is there a need for an interim title at this point? Usually, this is something that we did speak about then, usually an interim title is reserved for if a champion is away from the ring, if he is injured or otherwise. Why is Devin Haney fighting Abdullayev for an interim title?
This is a unique situation. When you have a multi-division, multi-organization champion request to the WBC to fight for a vacant title, that's a major statement. Luke Campbell was a mandatory to Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia vacates the belt, the championship, the division. So when we received that consideration, the WBC voted unanimously in favor to approve.
Did you just hear what he said? Luke Campbell was originally supposed to face Mikey Garcia, and Mikey vacated. What if I was to tell you way back when I knew that Lopez was waiting on Mikey Garcia to vacate? A lot of fighters were. And this is straight from the team. So therefore, Mauricio just told you that Luke Campbell was waiting in the shadows. He was the mandatory. It didn't happen. Boom. Mikey Garcia vacates. Get the hell on. And Lomachenko petitioned to fight for the vacant.
Lomachenko to fight Campbell for the vacant WBC title. We ordered mandatory fights to find the mandatory contenders as per the rules. And Devin Haney against Abdullayev, and Teofimo Lopez against it was I'm sorry, I just got a blank. So we had those fights ordered. Teofimo was fighting another organization, so he dropped out. So we left Abdullayev against Haney. When I met Lomachenko after the fight, I talked to.
So I just want to get some clarification when he said that Teofimo went to another organization. He's still in the process of trying to make these fights happen. You know what I'm saying? He's still in the process of trying to make these fights happen. Who is up here saying that Haney was scheduled to fight Lomachenko? You know what I'm saying? The conversation is for the conversation which is leading to is Abdulayev and Haney. He just said Teofimo went somewhere else to fight in another organization. He couldn't even remember who Teofimo Lopez was supposed to fight.
I talked to Lomachenko and his management, and once they won the title, they made it clear he's not going to fight for the rest of the year. He's going to take a rest, and he's looking for a major event next year, which you have to put into the balance. What do? You're not going to, you have rules, but your rules cannot go against the sport. Your rules cannot go against the industry. And it is absolutely clear that Lomachenko is a major force in the sport. And Devon Haney and Abdulayev both requested to the WBC to have their fight as an interim title fight instead of a final elimination. They are very happy to fight for the interim title, knowing that Lomachenko is not going to be fighting for a prolonged period of time. Very happy to fight for the interim title, knowing that Lomachenko is not going to be fighting for a prolonged period of time. Fight as an interim title fight instead of a final elimination. They are very happy to fight for the interim title, knowing that Lomachenko is not going to be fighting for a prolonged period of time.
Okay, that's not the first time y'all heard that. But hopefully, man, that we can stop with the pretending that it was an official bout between Lomachenko and Haney. We need to stop that when it comes to mentioning Teofimo Lopez and what he's been able to achieve in the lightweight division. We need to stop that. We need to leave that shit alone, man. Leave it alone. Lomachenko, if anybody, is the one that should be the finger point should go, because Lomachenko, a 3-division champion, and he was unified. He was unified at lightweight. He made the decision coming off that fight that they was gonna not they was gonna rest up, you know, take a leave of absence. So therefore, Mauricio Suleiman said the rules cannot go against the sport. So you heard him say Haney and Abdulayev was happy to fight for the interim title. Wasn't an eliminator, the interim. Shit that I've mentioned before. The interim. Not an eliminator, the interim. Why are people continuing to believe that one fight defined who Teofimo is as a lightweight? They keep pretending like, oh man, that was just by chance, dog. That was just by chance. Teofimo Lopez got that shit by chance, man. Because really, it was a WBC tournament, and you know, they were the whole tournament crumbled because of those words. No matter who wins the tournament, they was not going to be in line to face. He wasn't going to mandate Vasyl Lomachenko to face the winner. He wasn't going to mandate Vasyl Lomachenko to face the winner. How many times does that has to be retreaded verbally for people to understand what it means? We need to let this myth go. Just let it ride off, let it blow away into the dust, because it never materialized or came to fruition at any point in the preliminary stages when this mystery WBC tournament should have taken place, was going to take place, and they try to place all the blame on Teofimo Lopez abort mission and going over to the IBF. No. If you don't see what's going on in the WBC, then you haven't been paying close attention. It may sound all bad, right? But look at it. What has the WBC benefited Devin Haney and stand over there and holding that belt? Absolutely nothing. So therefore, Lopez, they relocated, shifted lanes, and went and got the pot of gold, bro. Why don't y'all motherfuckers just realize that shit? Why y'all continue to hold on? Y'all just continue to hold on to a little bit, just a little bit of crumbs, man, the residue, to have somebody convinced that Lopez ran away to the IBF because he didn't want to face Devin Haney. It makes absolutely zero sense if you think I'm going to tolerate that. It makes absolutely no motherfucking sense at all that people are not understanding how intelligently of a move to redirect your course and go over to the IBF and win the gold. You know what I'm saying? You go over to the IBF. Well, Devin Haney was ranked over there. He could have went over there. But when people see that green belt, they say, oh, this is the coveted belt. This is the coveted belt. But goddamn it, it's not coveted with authority when Lomachenko petitions for the franchise belt. And this what new shit do to people. When if you're not really paying attention to what's going around you, right? And you have something that you believe that's glowing and you got that power in front of you, you tend to hold on to what you have that's close to your possession. And a lot of people, they might say, damn, I got this damn WBC belt. This shit is what I want. This is the green belt. This is going to have power. And then all of a sudden, Mauricio Sulaiman comes out and upgrades Vasyl Lomachenko the franchise. It disavows damn near all the organs. It eviscerates the belt that Haney has in his possession. The franchise belt does that. A belt that was a part of the family becomes a step cousin. It has very minimal authority right now. When someone elevates and creates another belt, and that belt is superior, that belt is supreme. I know y'all hate those S words. Those belts are superior, supreme. A lot of people tend to just stick to what feels comfortable rolling off their motherfucking lips. TEOFIMO ran away. He didn't run nowhere. He went over there, redirected, and still ended up with all the motherfucking gold. And people still acting like Vasyl Lomachenko was supposed to fight Devin Haney. Stop it, bro. Y'all need to stop and move on and understand that they moving forward trying to be PPV stars right now and make the heavy bags. You know what I'm saying? Not the ones in the gym, but the ones that they goddamn log into their account and check their balances. Those heavy bags. They trying to load up satchels. They trying to load up Brinks trucks. They trying to have monetary cargo, goddammit. Y'all busy worried about a motherfucking strap. If you want the straps, if you want the notoriety, if you want that recognition, guess what? Go fight the opposition so people can tune in and say, you know what? I want to see those two fight. Whether it be from Gervonta to Devin Haney. I can't add Ryan Lion Garcia because he ain't nothing but a capper. I gotta talk to the ones who's actually fighting. You know what I'm saying? You know, PPV, yes, Gervonta, he has claimed that. He's been PPV. And you probably saying to yourself, I know my people, my black people probably saying, well, you know what? This nigga ain't really talking about Gervonta because Gervonta's been on the PPV. You're right. But understand this, though. Teofimo Lopez has unified an entire division. Teofimo Lopez can speak Spanish and English. Teofimo Lopez is much more user-friendly to the crowd to build up his Wall Street to be an incredible moneymaker in the sport, a PPV star. I got you. I got you, Knuckles. I got you. I'm just speaking in general. You know what I'm saying? Franchise was introduced as a trophy plus benefits. Well, look, last time I checked, a trophy, right? A trophy is recognition for your achievement. A trophy. But in this particular case, I disagree with it's a trophy with benefits because it actually is a primary player in the belt system now, the franchise belt. It doesn't matter how many people choose to accept it, but the franchise belt is a prominent role player in the belt system. It's just been injected into the super flyweight division. Juan Estrada was elevated just so that they can have the Roman Gonzalez trilogy. This is the third division, middleweight, lightweight, now super flyweight, and it's just something that's a trophy with benefits. Absolutely not, because Sor Rungvisai was supposed to be the one that was in line to face Juan Estrada. No. That's not happening. That's not happening. So you trying to tell me it doesn't have power? That belt has power because Rungvisai should have been the name on the flyer heading into this next bout because he was the mandatory. Nope. That is out of the question. Gone. Boxing does what boxing does. This motherfucker manipulates, influences, and then they make changes. And those revisions affects someone in a positive way, and it affects the other one in a negative way. There's a light side to a dark side. And right now, Juan Estrada is on the light side, and Sor Rungvisai is on the dark side. He's the man out. He has to wait. So Roman Gonzalez, he gets to go in there, Chocolatito. He gets to go in there and fight a trilogy and make another big paycheck and have the opportunity to fight for the titles. That shit has power. I'm all for fighters knowing their worth and attempting to negotiate such. This applies across the board for me. Boxing fans are crazy sometimes. This YouTube shit is way past crazy at times. I agree. That's a whole nother motherfucking broadcast in itself. And, you know, as much, you know, like when you try to ask yourself why certain people speak on certain topics all the time. It's certain people on this YouTube shit that's not really here to speak about boxing and how it progresses, how certain boxers are progressing in the sport, and how it's gonna may potentially change the sport. What Teofimo Lopez may potentially change the sport in a sense. You never know, because he's doing this shit early on in his career, and how they are moving may force changes in the sport for other fighters to attempt to do the same thing. Now, of course, everybody's traction or progress it will fluctuate, but they're doing it now. They're doing it now. One division. He was able to run the trifecta, complete it, get the titles. Now he's negotiating his worth. He wins it. Triller jumps in and say, you know what? Let's make some noise. People saying they overpurchased. They're worrying about the wrong thing. Believe me, once this Triller fight ends with Ben Askren and Jake Paul, and they really start promoting Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos, shit, that's gonna be like they fighting. I'm telling you, it's gonna be like they fighting for motherfucking all the marbles for the greatest fighter in the motherfucking world. They're gonna promote the shit out this fight, and this is only a mandatory, y'all. Triller is gonna promote the shit out of Teofimo Lopez. They're already doing it. They just not trying to bleed it in with this Ben Askren and Jake Paul that's gonna go down this next month. But a trophy shouldn't be you can choose not to fight. These guys are way too young in their time for that. Way too young to do what? It's young people that has become millionaires doing things that people assume they couldn't do. Times have changed, man. Look, the resources that you have to become rich or wealthy, or successful or great or whatever is at your disposal. It's just all about what you can come up with. How many individuals have you seen become millionaires over time just because of social media and what they was able to create? It's there for us, man. They just started. That's why we are in the state of boxing we are in. I disagree with you. You know, boxing's been around longer than most combat sports on the highest level, boxing. And why has boxing not elevated itself to a hierarchy that just a pandemic that's stricken us damn near calendar year, right? Why isn't boxing, or why hasn't boxing had a backup plan or have alternates, plan B's and C's to allow the sport to continue to grow during the pandemic? Why was it shut down? Because there's too many branches in boxing. With all those branches, it's only one base. You might have a whole lot of branches in boxing, but still, they're growing off the same roots. Boxing has this way of doing things that when it comes down to a pandemic, none of it can move, none of it can grow, none of it can go forward. Nothing. How's that possible? As long as it's been in existence, it should be an exceptional amount of backup plans and alternatives for boxing to continue to flourish during the pandemic, and that's not the case. Ilmatic in the building. What's good? Teal said F that WBC because he would have never got a shot at Loma. The IBF is the same way for Haney to get at Teo, but he wants to keep saying he has the green belt. Go to the IBF and earn your undisputed. Salute you for that, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know what else to say. You know what I'm saying? Let me put that comment up there because somebody might want to hit the replay. And every time I say some shit like that, people want to talk about I'm hating and I'm this, that, and the other. I don't give a fuck about it, but I'm just saying. Maybe Illmatic, he said it. You can go there and goddamn say some bullshit to him. How many times have we said that it really takes a strong-minded individual to know that, yes, you are in possession of a certain amount of power, okay? You are, but that's not the power. That's not all the power that you want. You're dissatisfied. The sport of boxing is about resume and credentials and achievements. So therefore, what Illmatic just said is what a lot of us are saying. Come off that motherfucking belt and put yourself in a position, which you can, because we see it all the time. We see individuals being elevated in the ranking system in the sanctioned body to become mandatories. We see the shit all the time. It's not like it can't happen. It can. So like I said, way back, redirect your course too. Say, you know what? Fuck it. You don't want to fight me? You don't want to fight me here? Boom. Let me go over here. But then check this out. Check this out. This is where the fear comes into. The fear is they're worrying about what somebody else is going to do. This is the fear. Because, I hear people, saying the same shit all the time, which I could care less, I mean, I consider myself above average when it comes to literacy. I have a college degree and shit like that, but even some people are worried about the wrong thing. But check this out. Just help me understand this, right? So Devin Haney in WBC, he can sit in that spot. He can sit in this position and fight the Gamboses, Linares, or whatever he fighting, right? And this is nothing towards Devin Haney or his pops personally, man. It's none of that shit, right? I'm just talking boxing. It's strictly boxing. So you stay over there and you put all this time and effort into being ignored. All right. You put all this time and effort in being ignored. You no matter how many media segues you're on social media. That goes for Lopez and BH, right? So you can go to all these and then nothing happens. Just talk, talk, talk. So you're not going anywhere with this belt. Nothing. People just recognize you with the belt, but yet they don't recognize you as being the man because you don't have what Teofimo Lopez has, right? So if it comes to a point where Devin Haney has to abort, come off that belt, I think there's individuals worried about giving up the only little minimal power that they believe they have in the lightweight division, which is that green belt, which Mauricio Suleiman has pretty much pissed on and said, you know what? The franchise belt is the more superior belt. All right. And he's been telling people that this belt is going to end up being injected into other divisions. And we just seen it with the super flyweight, right? So it might not be a high level of confidence for them to say, fuck it, let's get off this WBC and take that motherfucking risk. Because the people has been showing you minimal love with that WBC. So I think the confidence level is fragmented when you're worrying about who else may get that belt. You know what I'm saying? You're worrying about who else may pick up that belt and have more attention and have more power than you now have while you wait to get that opportunity with Teal. If you place yourself empty-handed, for some people, they might not be patient enough to wait for that open door to say, guess what? We're going to put you as the mandatory. Now Teofimo Lopez has no choice but to face you. He has no choice. That means you're going to be a name. Your name is going to be larger than average. You know what I'm saying? But then if you release that WBC belt, it take cojones to do that. It takes motherfucking honor to do that shit, to understand where you're trying to go. See, what Teofimo Lopez was able to do is make that same decision, but without a belt, even though the outcome was going to earn him what he was looking for. He said, you know what? Fuck it. I definitely want that WBC belt, but let me go this other route. He didn't fucking know that Mauricio Suleiman was going to goddamn elevate Vasil Lomachenko right away for that damn franchise belt. The franchise was only in one other division, Canelo. And Canelo did absolutely nothing with it. So when Vasil Lomachenko was elevated, Teofimo Lopez found himself in a position where when he finally got to the door to fight Lomachenko, yeah, they petitioned, hey, check this out. We want that transfer. Because think about it this way. Teofimo Lopez, Team Lopez wanted to strip Lomachenko of every fucking thing he had. Everything. The same shit I've explained to you all about Devin Haney if he faced Teofimo Lopez. If he want to strip him of everything, he has to request a transfer of the franchise belt so he can have every title. Forget this black, fighters want to sit up here and dog out the franchise belt. I get what you're saying, but still, it's a belt and ain't going nowhere. So in order for Team Lopez to strip Lomachenko of everything that he had, that everything being all the titles to include the franchise, they had to petition for it. They wasn't going to just leave that franchise up there with motherfucking Lomachenko, because that would have been a first time only type of deal. Mauricio Suleiman said, well, Lomachenko still is going to be the franchise champion and he'll be able to do it. It still would be a belt in the possession of Vasil Lomachenko. So Lopez said, fuck everything else. Why would I sit up here and fight for the unified titles? Then people be looking at him and saying, who you gonna fight? You just beat Lomachenko, so are you gonna fight Devin Haney for the other WBC title that has less authority than the franchise? Because Lomachenko, guess what? That he will be in the position that Teo's in right now. He wouldn't have to fight Devin Haney. He wouldn't have to fight no mandatory. He'll just be holding a franchise belt. And Mauricio probably saying to himself, that doesn't look good for the division. That doesn't look good in what I'm trying to do for the belt. So if you're going to fight for the unified titles, put in a petition for the belt to be transferred over to make it a clean slate. So that's stripping him of everything. So that's what happened. Lopez petitioned and he won everything. Stripped Lopez of all the damn badges he had. Then that leaves one belt that's out there. A belt that is basically secondary to the franchise belt. It's secondary. It's not the primary, it's secondary. If you all will understand, it don't matter how many thumbnails you make on Teofimo Lopez fighting Devin Haney. The shit ain't gonna be made on YouTube. At the end of the day, it's all about what the fighters are doing in their careers. It sounds good. It sounds good to keep on talking the same bullshit. People wipe their ass with toilet paper. They do the same routine all the time. It doesn't provide any more value. It don't. You keep on going through the same motion like this fight is going to happen. You have to give Teofimo Lopez his credit for having the courage to go where it was less popular. He went the less popular route. If you look at the belt system, people, in seniority, it's the WBC, WBA, IBF, and the WBO. That's how it's stacked across. That's how, they're abreast, they're in rank. All right. Being that the WBC is considered the more coveted, so to speak, sanctioning bodies. But how many times are we going to sit up here and say the same shit all the time? If you really want to put yourself in a different position to shut down the Lopez hype train, so to speak, you have to understand the lack of attention and respect that you have received, Devin Haney, with that WBC belt. Leave that motherfucker. You don't have to do what Riddick Bowe did. You know what I'm saying? But goddamn, put that shit in the recycle bin. Move the fuck on and say, you know what? I'm gonna take a risk. And I'm going to force myself in position. Boom. And let's see what happens. Then you're still going to have a dilemma. And I can see why Team Haney is holding on to that one WBC belt. I can see it. You know why. You know why they're holding on to it. Because if by chance Haney and them go a different route and get to fight Teofimo Lopez, now they have a dilemma. Okay? They have a dilemma, y'all. Because I don't know shit about boxing. They have a dilemma, right? That dilemma is they will have to petition. They will have to petition for the franchise belt to be transferred over if they do get the fight with Teofimo Lopez for all the belts. They will have to petition for the franchise belt to be transferred too. Fuck the WBC world title that's over there that Devin Haney used to have. He got off that. Somebody else has it right now. Ryan Garcia, Javier, whatever. Team Haney will have to petition for the franchise to be transferable if him and Teofimo Lopez fights. Let's just say, hypothetically, boom, Devin Haney goes in here and wins this fight. He gets all the belt, including the franchise champion. Do you think for 1 second Bill Haney's going to sit up here and say, you know what? We don't recognize this franchise belt. Yes, you are. You will recognize it. because it gives you a sense of authority in that sanctioning body to do the same shit that Teofimo Lopez is doing. They will have to petition the franchise belt. If they don't petition the franchise belt, it's not going to be for all the straps. It's not going to be for undisputed. They're going to have 3 belts, WBA, IBF, and the WBO. Then they're going to have to find a way to say, guess what? Who's the WBC champion? I guarantee you. Let's just say, for instance, they don't petition the franchise and they just want to go after the champion who's the WBC. They're going to, if they defeat Teofimo Lopez, they're not undisputed. They're missing a belt. Then they have to redirect attention and fight for the title that they used to have. If it's that easy, boom, they're able to fight for the title they used to have. Let's just say Team Haney wins that title that they used to have. They regain it. You will have people up here talking about, well, you know, I respect what they did, but Teofimo Lopez is still the franchise WBC franchise champion, man. In order for him to have all the belts, man. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you motherfuckers gonna be switching up. Bill gonna be like, you sorry low down motherfuckers. We done goddamn did this shit for you, and this is how you treat us? You sorry, you no good, 30 motherfucker. I'm telling you. That is the fear in making a decision such as that. If Team Haney attempts to go over there and become a mandatory and get the shot, they're gonna have to petition for the franchise whether they like it or not. And all the shit they done said about the franchise, now they have to motherfucking do what? They have to eat crow, so to speak. They have to motherfucking swallow that salt tablet with no chaser and say, fuck it. Devin, what you want to do? Man, I'm requesting that franchise. We ain't leaving him with no franchise belt. Fuck him. I'm requesting it. Boom. Team Haney requests a franchise. Let's just say they win. Boom. They get the belts. And they're going to be in the same position as Teofimo Lopez. So therefore, what's going to happen? Now, the people want to see, is Haney willing to fight whoever has the WBC title? That's why they ain't gonna come off that WBC belt. They have to make some decisions. See, if they would have did it initially, like Teofimo Lopez did, and went that route to get Vasil Lomachenko, who Mauricio Suleiman had made it perfectly clear that he wasn't going to force Lomachenko to have a mandatory, then we wouldn't be having this discussion. Jay Blues shows up to the live tab. What's good, Jay Blues? Alexander, what's good, my brother? Salute. What up, WCS? Saturday gotta be the best night of fights I've ever seen live. That's what's good. That's what's up. What fight you talking about? Oh, that Stipe KO hurt my soul. Huge respect to Ngannou. Yeah, man. He kind of put him down with a jab too, but it was more so a momentum jab where Stipe was coming into him with the jab for sure. The game is weak. The guy talk but don't walk. These guys talk but don't walk. Too much talent for them not to be fighting. If boxing was based off talent, it'd be a lot of motherfuckers fighting each other. Are we as fans looking for our favorite fight to fight? The best fight and beat the best, or are we looking for our favorite fight to get the money and not prove he's the best? That's a solid point. What are these cats looking for? Are they looking for the best to fight the best, or the best to get the money and not fight the best? Well, that's the mentality of the fighter who's trying to fight and make the money without, the best opposition. He said the franchise fluctuates like alternate current. They would get frozen out. They would be forced to get somewhere. The heck, they won't be frozen out. No. Thing is, though, said they would be no, they won't be frozen out, man. If they was to do that, they won't be frozen out. Believe that they won't be frozen out. They won't be frozen out. It's just the clock is all bad for them to do it right now, because he's about to face his mandatory. So if they want to make that move, they should have made it already. Because Kambosos is in line, and then this mandatory, the IBF is not going to come back up so quickly. I mean, it's other sanctioned bodies he can get a mandatory, but it'll take some time. You know what I'm saying? It'll take some time, but it's possible. They won't force him out. They won't force him out. He just have to take a little bit more time to get to where he's trying to go. But I'm saying, like, if that mindset would have been there early on to go for the prize, the lane has some motherfucking stoplights. I'm telling you, there's some stoplights on that motherfucking roadway. Nakatani, I'm not saying he would have had to fight all three, but you trying to say Haney and Teo over in the IBF, they're both over there to fight to face Lomachenko. I'm looking at it like it's two sides to the damn blade. I'm looking at one team that believed and forecasted the route that they was going to take. They believed it. I cannot doubt that Lopez Sr. didn't believe, because he spoke on it so much. You're not going to put yourself in the public eye and talk on some shit that you don't believe and the motherfucking crumble. And you understand what can come of it if it does crumble. And then you have the other side of the blade of individuals that all they saw was motherfucking being sliced and diced and cut up, and the shit just couldn't come to fruition. There's no way we'll take that. Man, that's going to be bloody. It's going to be painful. I just can't see myself succeeding in that. They might not have confidence to do what Team Lopez decided to do. They just might not have had the confidence to take that motherfucking route, especially if both Haney and Lopez would have been in the IBF. That would have been a hell of a motherfucking ride all the way up to face Lomachenko. Lomachenko couldn't have ran for those who was fighting for the eliminator. This wasn't for no interim shit. They could have fought over there at the IBF for the eliminator, bro. Devin Haney could have fought Nakatani. By the time Teofimo Lopez fought Nakatani for the eliminator, whoever won that out of Nakatani, Lopez obviously was getting Comey. I'm telling you, bro, it took some motherfucking honor. It took some different type of intestinal fortitude to take that route. That's what's so unique and dynamic about this sport. Like, you watch people do shit that's not a part of the standard protocol, and people frown upon it. You know what I'm saying? People frown on that shit because, for one, they don't have the courage to do it themselves, nor do they have the commitment to begin. They don't even have the starting point to say, you know what, let me do this shit, bro. It's going to be tough as shit. Let me do it. I'm willing to take everything that comes with it. Let me start it up. Let me go. They don't have that. They can't commit to something like that. He went and fought eliminated with an undefeated Japanese fighter, bro. 18-0. Undefeated. And people want to damn say, oh man, Japanese fighter tall, this and that. Oh, Teofimo Lopez got his ass whooped and this and that and the other. Okay, all right. So now, you're saying that Teofimo got his ass whooped, right? He goes in there and knocked out Richard Coleman. Oh, Richard Coleman didn't fight nobody for the title. That's shit. But it was a world champion, right? Oh, he didn't fight nobody. Now, oh man, Teofimo gonna get his ass beat. He gonna get his ass beat. Lomachenko just too much for him. Way better boxer, way more experience. Double gold standing Olympian. Oh my gosh, no way he can win this. Boom. Teofimo wins this motherfucker. Oh man, Teo getting the big head. He's doing too much. He's egotistical. He's arrogant. I mean, you can't win with motherfuckers ain't trying to see you succeed. That's why you got to do this shit and don't give a fuck about what nobody else say. You got to do you. Because we don't live in a world where people just automatically and genuinely support you 100% without them actually having a reason to. Some people can't see your dreams. Some people can't share your thought process. You might see some shit, your skill, your mental thought process, it might cut so deep, and you see that motherfucking gateway ahead of time, and people can't even goddamn be on that level. They can't be with you. They can't accompany you on that because everybody don't think that way. Thing is, from Cheeseman Metcalf to Dillian doing his thing to Ngannou and all the KOs in between, it was an all-time great night of fights. Fabio Wardley, my new favorite. What? Stop it, bro. Now, I was good with you seeing Cheeseman knock out Metcalf because that was a hellified fight. I like that. The exchanges between that. That was, I mean, I'm talking about that took me back to the old school fights. Serious. You know what I'm saying? Like they was exchanging some heavy hands and landing some hard blows in that fight. For real. Dillian did his thing, but I just felt like, once again, I put it in the same perspective as other fighters that don't emulate the way they looked the first time around. I just thought Alexander Povetkin looked way off. His legs, wheels, and all that. Fabio, my new favorite heavyweight, dude he was hurt by Molina, who was trying to quit early on. Molina was looking for a way out, bro. Wally ended up getting caught by right hand, and now he had to fight himself out, and he ended up landing a punch on a fighter who was trying to get out anyway. Molina was trying to run out the door anyway. He was giving Wardley all he wanted. He said, okay, I give it to you. Take me out. I'm ready to go. Man, he needs work. Jay Blues, I know you're joking on that. I know that's comedy. I know you're joking. It was so confusing, WCS. Mauricio changed the game as he was creating it. There you go. Talk your shit, bro. Talk your shit. You're absolutely right. Knuckles. He was changing the game as he was creating it. Because he can. He's the president. He's the president of that sanctioning body, bro. That's a nugget right there that you just said. That's a nugget. No matter what TEOFIMO does, people still hate. I agree that, B. Salute to you, my brother. What's good? Team Lopez has a franchise. The franchise is new. Mauricio said it was the one thing, then said it was another. Absolutely. Just don't accept the franchise belt and do what you have to do without being privileged. Well, I put it this way. I agree what you said about him changing it as he was creating it. There's a lot of what Mauricio was bringing to the table and introducing to the boxing world that he wasn't quite sure on what the protocol was going to be and the standard for that belt. So just like you said there, Knuckles, he was changing and creating shit. Just like when it initially came out that he was saying that the franchise belt holder can become undisputed, but he couldn't lose it. You know what I'm saying? They can become undisputed, but if they lost, they don't lose the franchise belt. So they didn't fight. They didn't have to fight the WBC world champion, but they can become, if they can collect all the other belts and become undisputed. That's what Mauricio said early on. So that changed because we did find out you can lose it. If your opponent petitions for a transfer, you can indeed lose the franchise belt. So it was a lot that he was changing and rearranging as he was changing the format in the WBC. It was. He was making changes, man. It happens. Jay said, laugh my ass off. A few adjustments, he could be something. He can be something. But I'm just a little bit like I'm not sold on Fabio Wardley. You know, he fights with his hands down. You know what I'm saying? You know, with the right fighter that can punch, like with a fighter like Andy Ruiz, who can really put them punches together. With anyone who can land, you know, set themselves up to land that one power punch at the right time, Wardley may find himself in trouble. Now, I like the flash and everything. I think he needs work, bro. You know, coming in there fighting with your hands down against a fighter like Molina, he didn't do anything special to me. You know what I'm saying? Even the fight before Molina, I'm like looking at this guy, say, yes, I like what I see, but look at his competition right now. Molina kept turning his back to Wardley and all that shit. And then finally, Wardley hurt him because you know he had a lapse in judgment. Molina hurt him. Wardley had to fight himself out of a bad position and somehow landed a shot. But I want to say this to you, Jay Blues. I got to get back to what I was saying. Is that you saw how many times Wardley was walking around in a circle after the fight was over with? Because he had cobwebs, goddammit. Back to the boy Teofimo Lopez. Listen, this is forever going to be a topic of discussion. You know what I'm saying? You can look at my thumbnail and understand that this is going to be a topic of discussion. The moves that he's making. Bob Arum, an individual who was just dogging the fuck out of T.O., threatening to put him on the shelf. And then David say, well, we ain't taking threats lightly. We don't take lightly the threats. He was telling you all, we don't take threats lightly. David McWater, OG, split team management, salute. What's good? Come on, man. He had that talking about he gonna put T.O. on the shelf. David, like, okay. All right. Whatever you say. And now Bob Emmons coming back around and making it seem like he's willing. He's a bit more open-minded at his age. You know, because the older you get, sometimes the more stubborn you are. But he's a little bit open-minded to say, well, guess what? I might just need to just be a little bit more patient and see young T.O. work. Let me watch T.O. work. Let's see what he has planned. He's been saying the takeover, and he's taking over, dog. He's taking over the lightweight division. So Arum looking like this shit, like, okay, let me just watch and see what comes of this. I see. You know what I'm saying? I see individuals that's trying to make up their mind on how fake they want to be. Like either you want to support Teofimo Lopez or you don't. I'm truly, you know, at this point in this YTC, you know, community, I'm true to myself in saying that I meticulously put myself in certain positions because I want to, you know, to bring certain things out of individuals. You know what I'm saying? I dictate when I want to show up and talk about certain things, right? And I see some people that's just not willing to make that commitment to stay true to themselves in boxing media. They just here for whatever it is they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So I've been pretty consistent on the fighters who I rock with heavy, and pretty much what I intend to speak on as far as my opinionated view or assessment on talking points and topics, right? I'm not here to get the nod from everybody. But what I have been true is with, Deontay Wilder, Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? Well, I have been true to Team Williams Jr. I've been true to Team Crawford. The ones I rock with heavy is the ones I rock with heavy. And I've seen the ones who try to rock with the bigger names. But now they trying to get on the bandwagon of Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? They try to have his pops on their panel and talk shit. They want that attention now. They want that attention. They're trying to come here and say, WCS, you ain't doing shit. And I was like, I just laugh at it because they're trying to do what I've already been doing. They trying to have that attention and have these individuals talk on their panel. You're trying to get on the bandwagon now. You must be bored. You must be bored. Because from what I was understanding, it was F this, fuck that. We don't fuck with Tio and all this other shit. But now you're really trying to fuck with him. You're really trying to fuck with him because you see what he's doing. And you're just like, man, I got to be a part of this. I got to be a part of this. I want to be a part of something special. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a part of something special. So let me get on Team Lopez. No, what am I looking at? What's going on? Why are you all of a sudden, y'all changing motherfucking direction and trying to come over to Team Lopez and you up here? No. Welcome, Mr. Lopez. Welcome, Mr. Lopez. Nice to see you over here, Mr. Lopez. You have these motherfuckers jumping ship, dog. Cause look, they seeing the shit that they was dogging Tio out for doing. They're not wavering in their commitment and dedication. So with that said, they keep on pushing forward and they're making strides in boxing. And like my man 300 said, he said that shit perfect. My man 300 said, listen, they just want to be a part of a team. They just want to be a part of a team that they can believe that it's their unity there. You know what I'm saying? They just want to be a part of something that they can connect to. A team. Outside this media shit, there's some individuals that just want to say they're part of a team. Of course, it's going to be quite different than Team Williams, because we're more so like a family. You know what I'm saying? We operate as a family and shit. Shout out to Roy Jones Jr. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Michael Williams. Shout out to his pops. Al Tariq, Money Mike, Mark, Real Talk TV. Shout out to all them cats, man. Don't hate the motherfucker. Congratulate him. But it's been a good time, man, talking with y'all about this. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, just keep keep true to yourself. Understand who's the undisputed lightweight king, because I know that was a point that people was keep on saying that he's not undisputed. He's not undisputed. Well, guess what? As I said before, they just inserted another franchise belt into the boxing regime. That is the super flyweight division. That shit came out of nowhere to certain people. But I already told you they're going to do it at the opportune time to make it seem worth something. Smart. Just, man, smart. Very astute. To make this trilogy with Estrada Gonzalez, they came out and said, guess what? We're going to upgrade Estrada so we can get this Gonzalez trilogy. Wrong side, you have to wait. It's not the end of the sport, even though you're older. It's not the end. You're just going to have to wait. Boxing is a business first. Now it makes you cogitate a bit and say, damn, did they have this planned all along for Estrada to win versus Gonzalez just to come back for a trilogy? Did they plan this shit all along? because people don't want to understand this shit happens in boxing. Just like I was, man, you wouldn't believe. Some people get it. Some people's telling me some real shit. They say, man, I appreciate, what you said about, the situation with Jermell Charlo and Errol Spence, because that would be amazing if it was to go down like that, because they could potentially pull off a very nice heist. But see, they also said this, that people sometimes they just want to see it play out because of the way it looks. They just want to see it play out without it being spoken on. And what I mean by that, if I'm speaking about a storyline of Jermell Charlo and Errol Spence potentially fighting and being able to allow Errol Spence to win those titles and then come back in a rematch, same shit happened with Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua. If they was able to plan that shit, both of their careers would hit another level in history. They don't have to talk about it. They can just do it. And they was like, damn, man, that's smart as shit. You know what I'm saying? I respect that. And then you have some that their imagination just isn't like that. They're like, so you saying that boxing, you want them to fix? I'm not wanting them to do anything. All I'm saying is it would be genius for that to go down the way it is. It would bring a lot of attention to Texas. Incredible amount of attention to Texas. Here you have two of your primary fighters. You have one fighter that's attached to a twin who also is taking upon himself to try to unify the 160-pound division. They have a boxing stronghold that can really do some shit right now. WCS, you good with me always, brother. Good talking points always. Appreciate you, Knuckles. Appreciate you. If Spence beat Ugas, do you feel that he took over the welterweight division? I just look at boxing different. I look at Texas, man, and I'm saying, damn, they have some primary hitters in those middle divisions in boxing that they can make a whole lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence has the support of Jerry Jones, and I'm pretty sure he can have the support of people in a different way if he was to attempt to move up and face Jermell Charlo after he unified the super welterweight division. The only thing they have to do is do the same shit they do in Hollywood. Act. The fight will be real, right? It will be real. Boxers know how to move around, but all they have to do is act. Build this shit up. The Charlos are always on IG talking shit about one another, being disrespectful. All the Charlo do have to bring the same he had about Tony Harrison. Oh, we're talking about them being in the same stable. Nigga, this ain't personal. We're going to get this bag. See, Floyd Mayweather, he'll do some shit. Floyd Mayweather understands. He's like, man, I'm going to get this bag. I'm just telling you. We good. But we're going to be disrespectful a little bit to bring these people in so they can tune in. Plus, we're going to set the date right in the right venue. People eager to get back into the seats, being that some of these locations are opening up with a live gate. We're going to entertain their ass. But first, we need to sell this motherfucker in the streets of Texas. We need to make them believe that there's some real beef we got between one another, and we're going to take it to the ring. It'll work. But, since World Combat Sports has put it out there in the air already, I said I wasn't going to talk about it anymore because I'm trying to give Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo time to plan this out and let this shit blow away so people can forget about it. Even though there's more people that's hitting me up behind the scenes about bringing it up than you think. And it's not motherfuckers that's really hating. It's people that's like, damn, they talk about making money in boxing. Texas is hot right now. What better time to do it? 2021, 22. Plan this shit. Keep the shit brewing. If Errol Spence ain't planning on facing Terrence Crawford anytime soon, let's just say he is gonna defeat Yordenis Ugas. You know what I'm saying? He is. He's gonna defeat your Dennis Ugas. Ugas is not gonna have that showing that he had against Sean Porter, against Errol Spence, right? So Errol Spence get that belt. Still, we ain't talking about the other side of him and Crawford. That's way gone. So in the meanwhile, for anybody thinking that Errol Spence, who's really 12-0 in the welterweight division, appreciate that, Mr. Knuckles. Appreciate your donation, my brother. He said, for all you do, fam, salute to you. Thank you. Got to run WCS. Great show. Take care, man. Appreciate you, Jay Blues. Handle that, man. Enjoy your day. If indeed this can be properly planned and executed, it would be great, because we don't know when we might see Crawford Spence. So why not go up and wait? And don't say, well, we can't do it. And mixed martial artists do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? In other sports, people fight fighters who's higher weight in full contact sports. It's just in boxing, people look at it like, man, I can't do that. Like, I need this amount of time. I need that. I need this amount of money. Excuse me. I'm putting my O on the line and all this. Forget about that. Forget about that. People worry about Rocky Marciano. How many people talk about Floyd Mayweather's undefeated record? Like, it's out there, but people don't glorify it every time boxing comes up. Talk about that money. Texas, do that. Fool who you can fool. Real talk. You come and think about it, you say, damn, we can pull this shit off on the backside of our career like this and make millions doing it. Why not? Who's gonna accuse you of it? They can reference WCS all they want. Well, it sounds the same as if WCS said it. I'm just saying, all of a sudden, they're breaking up Fight Camp. Derrick James is no longer training Jamel Charlo. He went back to Ronnie Shields. People gonna get out here. Oh, did y'all hear? Jamel Charlo went back to Ronnie Shields. After all what Derrick James has done to him. Oh, shit. It's fucked up. Jamel Charlo was able to unify the super welterweight division with Derrick James in his corner, but yet now he's leaving all that behind and he's rejoining Ronnie Shields. It don't fucking matter. You already undisputed, and you got now Errol Spence signed a 2-fight. You motherfucking get 2 fights out of that bitch. Win the undisputed title, become undisputed as super welterweight, and then Jamel Charlo becomes undisputed twice as super welterweight. What a grand time, huh? And look, I don't think it can play out like that easy, but the shit is in the perfect position to happen. Seriously. And to top it off, what's the grand finale of this shit? The mic drop. Seriously. Motherfuckers ain't gonna agree to it because they talking about some fantasy shit. One of the biggest fights, even though they can't be on the same card together and sell tickets and break some incredible numbers. But if Jamal Charlo was able to unify the middleweight division right now, because it's basically a warehouse. If Jamal Charlo was able to unify the division, and at the time Mel Charlo moved up to middleweight and fight his brother in Texas, once again, Texas would be on a whole nother level of boxing. You have 3 individuals in Texas that can really do some incredible monetary achievements, but mindset wise, they're not trying to be mobsters like that. They're not trying to look at how they can do some underhanded shit and make a whole lot of money doing it. The Charlo brothers fighting one another would be incredible. That would be the best time if Maul can somehow unify the middleweight division. Him and his brother always talking shit to one another online. Why can't you ever sit down as black fighters, as black men, and fool the game? Why worry about what people gonna say? Y'all gonna be brothers before the fight and after the fight. Once again, fighters know how to move around. Fool the crowd, goddammit. Fuck with each other. Jump on social media and say, hey, you keep fucking with me, little bro. We're gonna be in the ring together. It's like, hey, what you calling me little bro for? I ain't little bro. Fuck that. I already done unified division. You fuck around, I'm gonna come up there and take your belts. I'm telling you, all this shit can work out really good for Texas. You keep on talking shit, I'm gonna come on there and take your belts. I know what mom said. Mom said we ain't gonna fight, but goddamn it, keep talking that shit. I'm gonna move up the middleweight and take your motherfucking belts. Say, man, please, I ain't worried about that shit. You can't fuck with me. You know I'm motherfucking big bro. You can't fuck with me. Them three right there, at the end of their career, can sit back and laugh in the faces of all of us. Paid in full. But it takes a motherfucking genius. It takes the mind of a motherfucker to sit back and say, you know what? All we need is 3 years. That's it. We can do this shit in 3 years and laugh at the motherfucking game. Hate the player. You know what I'm saying? They will hate the motherfucking player when it's all said and done. Because those players would have played the game magnificently if that can happen. Errol moving up and facing Jamel twice, and the division and titles to his damn career, and then the Charlo brothers, who are hidden diamonds. Those are diamonds out there that can make a whole lot of money, but they're brothers, knowing damn well they've been inspiring and they can move around. They know each other. Brothers, they can fucking sell that shit on IG alone. That they themselves is goddamn at odds. People have seen them. The foundation and residue is already there. All they have to do is start fucking one another again and say, you know what? All right. I think you're getting a little ahead of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because just put it this way, Jamel Charlo, he becomes undisputed at motherfucking super welterweight. He started talking that shit like, guess what, bro? I did something that you ain't been able to do. You need to worry about that fight with Demetrius Andrade. Let's see, can you unify division for undisputed? Let's see. He's able to goddamn unify the middleweight division. Oh, finally, you was able to do something I already did. I did it first. Jamal said, it don't mean anything. You move your ass up the middleweight, you'll be on my motherfucking resume. All right, I'm gonna do that. Them people in Texas would do it. That'll make Texas so much money in boxing with 3 fighters that's in their hometown. 3 fighters that's in the nesting bed of Texas right now that's 100% open. And boxing is absolutely flourishing over there. That shit would do incredible numbers, y'all. It just has 3 people that can pull this shit off. It has 3 individuals, if they had that thought process, that can make millions and millions of dollars pulling this shit off, if they're willing to go through it. Anyway, next, I'm done talking about it for now. What corner would James be in? Look, he can be in Spence's corner. I told you. The game plan is there, Knuckles. The foundation is laid. The template is already there. Jamel Charlo, go back to running shields. The split is there. The disconnect is there. It don't fucking matter that what Derrick James has taught them, because ultimately they understand what they're going to do. He reunites with his brother. Boom. The disconnect is there. They ain't in the same stable again, even though they are here and there. They talking to each other behind the scene. Boom. They go in there to the fight, and Jamel Charlo loses the belt. Oh my God, the headlines. Jamel Charlo leaves Derrick James and loses his titles to Errol Spence, a former stablemate. Oh my God. But they have a rematch. Can Jamel Charlo come back and get his belts from Errol Spence? Errol Spence is now the 2-division champ, undisputed at super welterweight. He is one of the top names in boxing. He is the top pound for pound, top 3 pound for pound, top 2 pound for pound. He goes back into the rematch, loses to Jermell Charlo. It still doesn't affect what he has at welterweight. And then somehow, some way, only thing the Charlo brothers have to do is create a beef online again. That's what these cats are good at. That they've disrespected each other online. Man, it's easy. It's easy for the Charlo brothers to go at each other. Only thing it takes. Look, Jermell Charlo win the belts back. Jermell Charlo win the belts back. And just in a perfect world, let's just say Jermell Charlo is close to unifying or is unified to 160-pound division. This cannot work perfectly unless Jermell Charlo unifies the middleweight division. Because if by chance Jermell Charlo is able to talk that shit to his brother, and Jermell Charlo is able to pull off this middleweight heist, and the fact that two twins, the only two twins in boxing that is on the level of the Charlo brothers, they create this riff and start talking that shit on social media. And Jermell Charlo say those ultimate words. You know what? It's only so many times you're going to keep on talking that shit before I move up to middleweight and beat your ass. They take the social media on IG. I hear you talking that shit till I beat somebody else. Bring your ass over here. I'll fuck you up too. We family, but I'll fuck you up too. Can y'all see that? I'll fuck you up too. See, you getting a little bit above yourself since you unified the damn super welterweight division. Middleweight is a whole nother division. I'll knock your ass out. Okay. All right. Let's not tell everybody what's done happened behind closed doors. That shit was sell incredibly in Texas. Errol Spence and the Charlo brothers, y'all need to make that happen. Y'all need to make that happen. You can make that happen. You just have to go through the motherfucking fire to do it. It shouldn't take no more than 3 years for you all to pull this off. 2.5 if it's clean sailing. Because for one, the shit that can happen real fast is Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo. Because Jermell Charlo is going to beat Brian Castano ass, and he's going to become undisputed. Errol Spence, he's not going to have too much of a difficult time with your Dina Ugas. So therefore, y'all can get this shit into play before the motherfucking 2021 ends. We can see y'all pop off in 2022. Make that money. Y'all motherfucking make that money. Make that money. Jermell Charlo's already taken a loss to Tony Harrison. It's not going to be that fucking bad. Errol Spence taking a loss to Jermell Charlo is not going to do anything in the higher division. That's not going to fuck up his motherfucking credibility at welterweight. Just drop back down, bro. Do what you do. You out of the equation. You made 2 paychecks, and also you've earned another division to your credentials at this stage in your life because you're in your 30s. So now you become undisputed. You're a 2-division unified champion, undisputed at super welterweight. Beautiful. Now the only thing is left is the Charlo brothers. Time for them to run the motherfucking heist. You hit the fans up for 2 with a rematch, a 2-for-1 special. Now it's time for the Charlo brothers. What's great about the Charlos? They some of the most easiest names that can pull this shit off because they're brothers. They done beefed in the public. They can pull this shit off, bro. And you know what? It's a lot more people out there that want to see the Charlos box inside the ring than me. Period. Like I said, I gotta stay off. I gotta stay off this shit. I don't want people, getting mad and acting like it can't happen. Then when the shit start to go down, they say, we heard somebody up here on YouTube. No, give credit, because I've mentioned this several times already. Y'all know damn well, if you want to redirect attention and talk about boxers making money, this would be an unbelievable storyline. What they call this would be an unbelievable boxing fairy tale, but true. I'm serious, man. Damn, that would be a hell of a payday. Facts. I'm telling you, Knuckles, that shit would get them motherfucking paid in Texas. I mean, look, it will bring so much attention to Texas. Motherfuckers would be going over there just to see this shit go down. Like Errol Spence and the Charlo brothers don't even need to leave Texas to make this shit pop off and get paid. They can do it all in their backyard and bring money to their own city. And then laugh at motherfuckers when it's all over, when it's all said and done. Laugh. Like, look at these motherfuckers. All they look, Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo could take that one picture after it's all said and done. For people to say, oh shit, Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo, they made up. Man, they cool now. Of course they are. Because they done motherfucking completed the mission. They hit y'all in the head for 2. Look, I know for a fact that if that shit was to go down like that, no doubt about it, I think that both of these guys, being that we're back in with the PPV and all that, I think they can make easy over 20 million easy. They can make 20 million easy off that. Minimal. With PPV back in effect and all that. And building this fight up to the right way in Texas. They can make easily 20 million minimal a piece. Easy. I'm not saying that's like total. I'm just saying they have the name, they have the city, they have the notoriety, everything. Especially with Errol Spence being on the pound for pound list. You know what I'm saying? Him trying to unify at the welterweight division, but yet him moving up to a different division and getting that attention up there. It's just a lot to behold in what I'm talking about. Mommy always stopped me from beating your ass. You know what happened. You know what happened. Yeah, man. Like, a lot of people always bring their mom into it. Like, mom told us, we promised our mom we'll never fight. But guess what? Hey, money, man. You trying to tell me the Charlo brothers can't go in there and move around? Boxers do it all the time. They do it all the time, man. Boxers know what moving around is. It's just because I'm saying it sounds bad. Yeah, it sounds bad for people who don't know what it absolutely means. Only thing they like to use is, so you're trying to say that they should fix a fight. I'm not saying any of that. I didn't say fix anything. I'm just saying if it's possible for them, that trio, the way I look at it in boxing, those are perfect names, perfect faces in the sport to make a hell of a lot of money in their backyard. All they do is have to commit. They have to commit to it. And they would get paid handsome, like they would get paid incredibly large if they just had the courage to pull it off. Everybody will believe it. Even if I talked about this shit every day for a month and they decided to do it, people still really wouldn't tie it back in to me mentioning it. They'll just look at it like, oh shit. Oh man, they got beef, man. You heard about Mel Charlo and Errol, right? It was some, man. I don't know, man. It was some over some chick, man. I don't know what the fuck it was, but they beefing hard. All they have to do is go to Twitter, IG, get this shit started. Jermell Charlo leading motherfucking Derrick James. It's it. The fire is lit. People are on board. Did y'all hear? Spence and Mel Charlo, they broke up, man. They ain't no longer together in the same stable. They beefing. They don't like each other. They at war. Da da da. Oh my God, bro. Stop it. Stop it, bro, man. I'm trying to help boxers out, man. I'm trying to be a indirect financial advisor, bro. But anyway, I'm definitely gonna digress off this shit, man. Because people are gonna feel some type of way, and then when they see it playing out, they're not gonna come back and get WCS any credit for speaking on it. You know what I'm saying? Because they think I'm supposed to have 400 viewers at one time. I'm pretty comfortable with this shit, with who tunes in right now. I'm pretty comfortable. I know everybody verbatim who comes down on the live chat, so I salute you. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate what you're doing, man. I'm gonna close this out with the John Jones situation, right? Salute to once again to the topics. You know what I'm saying? Team Williams Jr., Michael Williams, boy wonder. He gonna change the game. He got a lot of big shit coming. I'm telling you, that's a cat that's changing the game. If I told you how he was gonna change the game, you'd be like, nah. You know, you'll shut that shit down. But man, they got a lot of good shit coming. And once again, when you are one of one of doing what you do, people gonna goddamn show you that attention, that negative attention first, and then they're gonna get converted. You know what I'm saying? So don't think too much of it too early. Let the haters hate and watch you perform, and then they will appreciate. Period. Shout out to Team Lopez. You know what I'm saying? Continue to move that needle and promote yourself, and get that damn 3 million for a fucking mandatory. You know what I'm saying? And look forward to seeing you in the ATL real soon. But check this out. I'm gonna end it with this, people. Francis Ngannou was able to stop Stipe Miocic, right? So listen, Stipe fought differently, you know, in that fight. Francis Ngannou had the equalizer, and he kind of used Stipe Miocic's momentum to hit him with a punch. So Stipe coming forward, trying to counter and you know, switch up the momentum and take away, you know, Francis and what he was able to establish with landing that punch. He ended up running into a jab that dropped him, and then he did some ground and pound, landed some punches and finished the fight. You know, I was telling people ahead of time that Stipe's been knocked out before. It's not like he can't get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? He's been knocked out before in the first round. I mean, it's not like it was impossible. But Francis Ngannou, salute to him for winning the title, man. The big question is now, you know, with Dana White post-fight, he was implying that Derek Lewis is more so the better name to fit that fight, since him and Francis Ngannou had fought before and Derek Lewis won. But the fight was so boring and both fighters was so limited in activity that Dana White is somewhat probably trying to say, okay, let me throw Derek Lewis into the mix, because people are tuning in to see two heavy-handed, you know, fighters who've already fought once. Derek Lewis won that via decision. Now that Francis Ngannou is champion, bring him back in, right? But let's not forget, we have John Jones. John Jones, that's basically out of the sport right now, vacated his light heavyweight title. He has been out there pending, looming in the midst to return to the sport into the heavyweight division. And it's been said that he was the one that was designated to fight the winner of Miocic and Ngannou. Dana White has sort of kind of been taking shots at Jones, like, I don't know what the fuck he's trying to do. Do he really want to come back and fight? Blah, blah, blah. And then Jones is like, man, I've been out here working my ass off, putting in all this work, and you want to act like you don't know what it's for. You know what I'm saying? So let me read you some tweets that John Jones had put out. John Jones said a huge slap in the face, and I thought we were in good terms. I've been sitting here working hard, excited to come back to the company just to get that shit. Yeah, it's John Jones now. John Jones don't fucking play around when it comes to his shit. He said, I'm going to try to remain faithful. There's still time for the UFC to do the right thing. I'm supposed to be seeing a fight proposal next week. Fingers are crossed. This is an opportunity of a lifetime for everyone involved. You know, with boxing and combat sports, motherfuckers always come out with a twist and turn. You know what I'm saying? You always see that shit. They say some bullshit just to get motherfuckers to tune in, and it'd be absolutely different. No, this is no different right here. Jones said, spend a little to make a lot. Or am I missing something? He's true. If you are a former fighter who is now a puppet and you are insinuating that I am afraid because I'm asking for more money, you should be ashamed of yourself. You are part of the problem. I always hear about how much the company is growing, yet 1 year later, I find myself in the same spot. I put in the work. I've done my part. I have completely transformed myself, and now I meet a brick wall. How discouraging. Bro, I've gotten out of the way from much faster punches, and I've had a pretty solid chin. Let's not forget fight IQ, which I mentioned a lot now. Fight IQ, reach, speed, distance. I'm not going to just stand there like Stipe did. Talk your shit, John. Talk to the motherfuckers. He goes on to say, I've been talking about getting paid more for over a year now. Has nothing to do with France winning the belt. I fear no man. I've been beaten up on heavyweight since I was skinny kid. Gain all this size and strength just to suddenly be afraid? Sure, let's switch narratives. You guys get so impressed by a guy with knockout power. I've been proving for over a decade that punching power means shit. I'll let you, he say, I'll let all your fans be super hype. I'll stick to what I know, pay me, and let me go to work. Hey, look, this motherfucker putting out some motherfucking fire. Them motherfucking lit arrow, them damn arrow tips are lit. Let's not forget Stipe lost to DC. Stipe only defended his belt like 5 times to my 15. The man showed up at 2:30 to the fight against Francis. He is no John Jones. I want this fight. Excited to see what the UFC thinks it's worth. I'm glad some of you agreed with me. It's like brothers with football. It's like my brothers with football. Once they both got their Super Bowl rings, they went after money contracts. Damn. I've been fighting my whole adult life. This shit just don't feel right when you feel undervalued. It's not an issue of wanting to fight. It's an issue of wanting to be paid better. Let's make that clear. See, that's what I'm talking about. Let's make this shit clear. It's all about being paid better. It's okay. Derek can have the fight. No need to rush great thing. I've already had a Hall of Fame career. I'm going to need some bread. Talk your shit, John. He talking this shit, boy. I'm telling you, Twitter's a monster for some people. I'm not heavy on Twitter, but John Jones, it's funny. I began to see these motherfuckers trickle in once the fight was over with, because I know only one person I wanted to hear talk that shit. And he hasn't stopped. I've been working my butt off, gained all this weight, have never lost a fight before. Now all of a sudden I'm scared. What bullshit. Conor McGregor wants big money. It's expected. John Jones want money. Now he's scared. Man, y'all know what it is. And I'm going to post all these motherfuckers too. I'm a post, you know, do what I do. I'm going to post his tweets because there's some good shit he talking about. Seriously. He's making a lot of sense. He said, why does a fighter have to be afraid the second he benches, he wants to get paid his worth? What an insult. I quit the light heavyweight division intentionally. Literally gained a massive amount of weight. And now people are saying I'm afraid. Everyone but me claiming that I'm afraid. All I asked was to get paid. Go to 185. I did gain all this weight for no reason. Anyway, y'all know what it is. Is John Jones ready for Ngannou at heavyweight? Give me your thoughts. Absolutely he is. Why not? Peace there, Knuckles. Why not? Of course he's ready. Of course he's ready. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Of course he's ready. Of course. No doubt about it. But it's been a pleasure, y'all. Once again, it's been a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Everyone who tuned in to World Combat Sports, all the supporters, you know, for those of you that pull up and gonna hit the rewind, like, share, and subscribe, man. And be consistent viewers, man. Pass the word and grow the channel. Understand this. You know, I care about how I grow the channel and the listeners that choose to fuck with me. Everybody else that's out there just talking about, you know, how my channel is, hey, thank you too, because that proves that you're tuning in also. You know what I'm saying? You showing that love also. You know what I'm saying? And also, it feels good. Team Williams on deck. Roy Jones Jr., you know what I'm saying? Don't hate, appreciate. Turn up until the end of World Combat Sports. I'm out.